Today I'll be making for you guys the vegan black bean burger. And first we're going to start off with boiling your black beans because dry beans take a long time to cook, so therefore we're going to do that first. Now I already have it in the pot, but just to show you guys, I put 1 cup of black beans to 2 cups of water. So that's going to be cooking for about 2.5 hours. Once that is cooked, the other processes will be, we'll be able to combine all the other processes. But in the meantime, I'm going to be cooking the quinoa as well as the yams. Now I've made 2 separate pots right here. One for the potatoes, to boil the potatoes, as well as the other one for the quinoa. Now for the potatoes, I put 5 cups of water to boil. Make sure you put it on medium to high heat temperature, okay? Now for the quinoa, you're going to need half cup of quinoa. Just dump it in there to 1 cup of water. Alright? So that's that. You can add a pinch of salt.
Himalayan salt, right?
Himalayan salt, yep. To the quinoa, and you can add a pinch of salt to the 2 pinches of salt to the black beans. Continue to stir the black beans and continue to let it boil. Put a lid on it so that it can steam as well. A little bit more. Make sure you put a lid on it so it can steam and cook. Okay, now for this recipe, instead of eggs, I'm going to be using what I call chia seed eggs. Now, in order for it to get like this, what I did was I took 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, and I'm going to take 3 tablespoons or more. This can be bought at any store, dollar store, any type of grocery store, Target, Walmart. Together. You let it sit, and it needs to look like this. All right. This pretty much sat for like an entire day. Okay, so this pretty much was sitting for a couple hours to a day. Okay, now in order for it to get like this, you got to continuously put water in it. Now chia seeds, what happens to it is it becomes gel-like once you put a bunch of water in it. Alright, so it should be looking like this, and within the by the time this is finished, it's going to look like that. Okay guys, about 35 to 40 minutes has just passed. Okay, the quinoa is done. Now the quinoa is going to take about 15 minutes to do. If it gets a little bit dry before the time, you can just add a little bit of water, like about half a cup of water, and then it's going to complete the process. Now the yams are going to take about 15 more minutes to do. Alright, now with the beans is going to take the longest. You're going to continuously add a little bit of water and stir. Alright, just keep stirring. And make sure your quinoa looks like this as well. I have to add a little tiny bit of water to get it, to complete. Now the black beans is going to continue to stir, right, and let it sit on medium to high heat for about another hour and a half. Okay. Now in the meantime, if it dries down, continue to put a little bit of water to keep it submerged in water. So that's that. And in order for you to figure out if the yams are complete, you should be able to stick a knife in it, and I'm going to do that when it's done. Okay, now the beans have been cooking for about an hour and about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, as you can see, it's getting soft enough that I can actually crush it. So we're going to try to start crushing the beans, because you don't want it way too soft and you don't want it still too hard. So we're going to use this time to start crushing it. You may not be able to see it properly because of the steam. But after this point, you should add a little bit more water, a tiny bit, and let it keep on cooking, boiling. See, it should be like this. starting to look like this crushed up in the spoon. Now this is an update of the chia seeds. Now due to the fact that the chia seeds absorb the water quite quickly, you're going to have to continuously adding a little bit more water and stirring it. Now you're not going to be using all of this now. Sometimes it gets way bigger than I anticipate. Okay, so you're going to be using pretty much like a spoon or two, a spoonful or two. But that's just to show you how to make chia. Now, okay, the beans are pretty much taking less time than I anticipated because it's a little bit less beans that I've used. This took about an hour and a half. The quinoa took about 15 minutes. And the yams are going to take about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. Okay? So in the meantime, we're going to continue to crush. Now, crush it enough so that some pieces stay kind of slightly whole, but this is the consistency you want to have it at. So that when you combine the other stuff, it can be good. Since it's going to be like 5 more minutes to complete the yams, I'm going to be putting some seasonings to the beans while I'm crushing them up. This is no salt seasoning, okay? I'm going to put 4 dashes of no salt seasoning. Some parsley flakes, 4 dashes of parsley flakes. Garlic powder, I would say I love garlic powder and it makes the food taste a lot better. So I will do 5 dashes of garlic powder. Some paprika, 5 dashes of paprika. A tiny bit of cumin. Some onion flakes, chopped onions. Couple dashes, and a teaspoon of salt, of course. And one of the ingredients that I realized that kind of steps up this step in the game of the black bean burger is a little bit of salsa. Any salsa, doesn't matter. So I would do, of course, a cup of salsa, and then you continue to, on low heat, you continue to crush it up. Now in the meantime, I'm gonna add the quinoa. Mix it around, crush it around. See, it's starting to look alive. I'm gonna add one of these teaspoons of the chia seeds in order for it to have that sticky effect so that it wouldn't crumble while you're baking or frying it. And guys, you're not gonna taste the chia seeds. Alright, so don't you worry. And we're gonna wait until the potatoes are done, which is in a couple minutes. In the meantime, at this point, while you're still waiting for your potatoes to be finished, we can start grating half of an onion, a little bit of onion, into your beans. This gives it an even more greater taste. And I did a half to a third of the onion. All right, and then you may only need one. Let's see how this works. We have the other one just in case we need to make the texture thicker. And we may be able to cope with just one. So what we're gonna do is continue to mash it. You see the type of spoon I have? This is the type of spoon I have to mash. If you have like a potato masher, that's fine as well. But I just use this spoon because I love it. Yeah, so just one potato will be fine. Now we're going to thicken it a little bit with our brown rice flour. Now I would rather you use oatmeal flour, but since I don't have any oatmeal flour, this will do. Okay, this is going to be a tablespoon of brown rice flour. If you put too much brown rice flour, I realize, or too much flour, it tends to have like a slight bitter taste. You don't want that. So a tablespoon will do. So you can continue to thicken this a little bit. And this is the consistency you want it at. Excuse the noise. Now you can add, at this time you can add a little bit more seasonings if you want to. If not, then we will go on to the next step, and that's the final step, and that's frying the burgers, since Mr. Intensity likes to fry it with avocado oil instead of frying pan. And we have our avocado oil so that we can get it fried up. Alright, so we're going to be heating the pan for about 3 minutes on medium to high heat. More so closer to the medium section to the side so that it would not burn. Okay? It's going to take a couple minutes. Now heat up your oil for about, just make sure you saturate it a little bit with the oil so that none of your burger will burn. Okay? A little bit in this, and it's good. Okay, here comes the exciting part. What we're gonna do is take our burgers, right, and just place it gently onto the pan. We're gonna start shaping it after a while, okay? But let it fry on one side first so we can start shaping it. And this is a medium or small spoon. Well, a medium-sized spoon so that we can shape the burgers to like a small to medium-sized cylinder or circular form. Don't put too much because it will be hard to flip it over. Now you're gonna be frying it on one side for 3 to 5 minutes on medium to high heat. If you do it any less, it's gonna crumble. So you gotta take your time using a spatula, and I'm gonna be showing you guys that very soon. Okay, now we're ready to turn it. What we're gonna do is take our time, because it can easily fall apart after 5 minutes of doing it on one side, like letting it fry on one side. Now let's do the other one. Just take your time. I know it's not gonna be perfect the first time. It's kind of like cooking a pancake. And what I do when I flip it is try to shape it to become more circular and flatten it out just a little bit more. It kind of looks like a beef burger, doesn't it? See how it's coming together? This one is the hard one.
Gotta do it fast.
Yeah, I know, right? There it is. And there it is. Good. And you're gonna continue to flatten it and shape it while it cooks. Now you're gonna have to turn it over one more time on each side so that it can fully cook. In order for you can't eat it right away. You have to let it cool on a platter so that it can actually set in its texture. Okay, so it can get a little bit more firm when it's cooler. All right. The longer it stays to cool, the firmer it will be. You can even turn it down so that it can cook even longer. All right. And that's how it is, the black bean burgers. All right. I'm gonna show you guys the finishing look, and hope you guys enjoy it. All right. In a cookie sheet, or cookie pan, or whatever you want to call it, I will place a paper towel so that it can cool, and that's how it's going to look. All right, hope you enjoy. Bye.